Here we're going to talk about amortization schedules, and what I'm about to show you will help you with problems number 43 and 44 in your books. So we're going to look at basically the details behind what happens when you're paying off a debt in equal periodic payments. How does the interest calculate in, and how does the balance get paid? So we're going to look at example 4 from your book. I'm just going to walk you through this example and what the calculations are. So for example 4 says if you borrow $500 that you agree to repay in 6 equal monthly payments at 1% interest per month. And this is important. They've already told us what the periodic interest rate is, so that's the I. And we're supposed to pay that on the unpaid balance. We want to know how much of the monthly payment is used for interest and how much is used to reduce the unpaid balance. So first of all, we're taking a value and we are paying that value off, that loan off. At the end, the value of the loan is decreasing all the way to 0. So we're talking about present value. So the present value, what we're starting out with at the beginning, is $500. The periodic interest rate, or the interest rate per period per month, is 1%. So they've already calculated that for us. And we're doing it in 6 monthly payments. So we have 6 periods. So we'll use that formula for present value and we'll solve for the payment. So our payment equals present value, and then we have our I and our N that we want to plug in. So it's $500, and then our I minus 1 and divided by 1 minus 1 plus I raised to the -6 power. Okay, so we use a calculator and that gives us $86.27 per month. So at the end of the first month, let's figure out the interest. The interest is always paid on the unpaid balance. So when we start off with our first payment, the unpaid balance was $500. So we're going to pay 1% of that value, which is $5. Now, since all of the payments are equal, okay, the interest will change based upon the unpaid balance. Since we're paying the balance down, the balance will go lower, so we will owe less interest. So let's look at how the monthly payments actually are paid. We're paying $86.27 per month no matter what. Part of that payment will be the interest, and part of it will be how much we're actually paying toward the balance. Okay, so we have $86.27 for the monthly payment. The interest on that unpaid balance turns out to be $5. So whatever's left over from that monthly payment is actually going to go toward the unpaid balance. So this is going to reduce our overall loan balance. For the next month, okay, so we had $500 to begin with. $81.27 was paid toward that balance. So now the rest of the balance that we owe is $418.73. Remember that the interest is paid in addition to the loan. Okay, so this $5 does not reduce the original balance. At the end of the second month, then we're going to take the unpaid balance and we're going to calculate the interest on that. So the interest, you can tell, is going down because the unpaid balance is going down. So 1% of the unpaid balance, so this next payment will have $4.19 of interest, and the rest, whatever's left over from that fixed monthly payment, now this will go down toward the unpaid balance. So the next month, we had this, we're going to reduce that unpaid balance by $82.08, and this is what we have left to pay off, $336.67. So we keep doing this, of course, until the balance is reduced to 0. So if we actually look at all the details of this, this is what we call an amortization schedule. We have all our payments, okay, and they're equal monthly payments. However, the interest should be different from each one. Okay, so it's going down. And the unpaid balance, of course, is also going up. So when I add these two together, I should get $86.27 for each month. Okay, so both of these sum up, unpaid balance reduction and interests. So this is how the payment is broken up. Okay, So we can do this by hand for all of these calculations, or we can use Excel. So I'm going to show you how to actually do this in Excel very quickly. Okay, so we have 6 total periods that we're going to be making payments, and we want to know what those payments are supposed to be. So I'm going to let Excel tell me this. So we have an unpaid balance of $500, so I'm going to put that in under payment number 0. Okay, so we have a payment number, so how many payments we're making. I have a column for payment, interest, unpaid balance reduction, and then the actual unpaid balance. So we're starting out with a loan of $500, and I would like to calculate the monthly payments. And remember that the monthly payments are going to be the same every month. So in order to enter this into Excel, you have to hit equals. That's how we do our formulas. And let's take a peek again at what that formula was that we used. Okay, so we're going to put equals. And we have the present value, so that would be $500. I'm going to hit times. So I'm going to hit the little, kind of a little asterisk symbol there. Okay, so we're going to multiply by our 0.01. Okay, and then I'm going to say divided by. For our formula, we have parentheses 1 minus, and then we put in our parentheses here, another set. And then we have 1.01. That's our 1 plus I. And we're going to raise that. I'm going to close my parentheses, and I'm going to raise that. And I'm going to have to enter in another set of parentheses just to make sure we capture both of these values. We're going to raise that to the negative 6 power. Okay, then I'll have to close out my parentheses for the very end to say I'm dividing by all of that. So let's look at what we have. So according to our formula, we have our present value, which is here. We have 1 minus 1 plus I, and 1 plus I is 1.01. We're raising that to the negative 6 power, so I do need parentheses around that exponent. So we raise that to the negative 6 power altogether. And then I have my closing and starting parentheses here to represent the entire denominator. So I'm going to hit enter. Alright, so we want to round this. You notice they said $86.27. I am going to round this. But first, since we're doing the same payment for every month, I'm just going to kind of highlight the cell. I'm going to click on the little plus sign. I'm going to drag that down. That allows it to copy all the way down. Okay. So there's the payment without rounding. So let's round. And if I want to round, I usually type in my formula first. And then I type in, at the beginning, I type in the word round, parentheses. And then at the end, I put my comma. And I want to round to 2 decimal places. And then I can hit enter. Okay, then I can drag that formula all the way down. Okay, so now it's rounding to the nearest 2 decimal places. Okay. All right, now we want to calculate the interest. And remember that the interest is paid on the unpaid balance. So I'm calculating interest on this. So this is going to be equal to $500 times that interest, which is going to be represented as a decimal, so 0.01. Okay. Now, there's actually an easier way to do this, and let's do that so that we can make things simpler for us as we go. Instead of actually typing in the hard value of $500, let's actually delete that. I'm going to leave my little space there. I'm going to click on the cell, and it's going to put that information. It's going to say E11. It's going to represent that. In a minute, we'll be able to copy and paste and drag, and it'll actually make things a lot easier for us for the rest of the calculations. So we have $5 there in interest. So what's going to be the unpaid balance reduction? So we have our payment, we have the interest that we paid within that payment. So the unpaid balance reduction will be, I'm going to put equals. I'm going to take my payment. I'm going to just click on that cell, which makes it nice and easy, less typing. I'm going to subtract off the interest, and I'm going to hit enter. All right, so that's $81.27. And then the unpaid balance, okay, that's going to be, we're going to put equals. Sorry. We're going to put equals. We're going to take the balance that was there before, and we're going to subtract off the balance reduction. So this is what's left over in the account. What's nice here is that we can actually just drag this value down. It's going to make those, it's going to fill in those spots there. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to drag them on down. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll just drag on down. Okay, so they'll be kind of inaccurate for a few minutes, but then once you got everything filled out, that we should be good. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and round everything to the nearest 2 decimal places, and there's one way to do it is to actually type in round. Another way to do it is to highlight all of these spots here. Okay, then I'm going to say right click. I'm going to click Format Cells, and I'm going to go to Currency. It's going to automatically round it nearest 2 decimal places, so we'll say OK. All right, so this is where they get this schedule that's written here in the book. What's nice about using Excel is that it allows us to do the calculations once and then click and drag, so we don't have to do all of that by hand in our calculators. Okay, so as long as you get this first line correct, and then everything else gets dragged down. Now you will notice that at the very bottom of the schedule here, their last payment is $85.45, and we have $85.42. We don't want to have to leave a remaining balance of 3 cents. So what happens is they actually end up changing that and taking this value, those couple of cents that's left over, and just throwing it in to that last payment. So the last payment is actually $86.30, just to make up for the rounding errors along the way, to get that last 3 cents and without having to have a remaining balance of 3 cents. All right, so you're welcome to use Excel for those 2 problems and kind of follow along what we did there.